Georgia Congressman Drew Ferguson. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm sure you've watched these runoff races there in Georgia, the primary there in Virginia. Let's keep it in the Peach State. Your reaction to last night's election results, particularly two Trump-backed candidates, Jake Evans, Vernon Jones, losing their races. Essentially, what does that say about Governor Brian Kemp, Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, and incumbencies, and how that matters as well?
Look, I think the first thing that you've got to recognize is that the two candidates that won, Rich McCormick and Mike Collins, are both outstanding candidates, and they ran really good races, and they are prolific campaigners. I think it says a lot more about where they are. But also keep in mind, Governor Kemp won handily in a primary, and he is the clear Republican leader in the state of Georgia right now. And I look at the candidates, and look, we got another great candidate that you didn't mention down in the second congressional district, Chris West, who will be in a competitive general election against Democrat Sanford Bishop. So we've got a lot of good things happening in Georgia right now.
Yeah, continue to focus on that. I want to move, though, to the news of the day, if I can, with you. Multiple outlets, including CNN, reporting this. President Biden will call for a 3-month suspension of the federal gas tax. That'll save you about 18 cents per gallon here, but some officials acknowledging it will not alone fix the problem here. Is it a temporary Band-Aid? Your thoughts when you saw this 3-month holiday on gas tax?
Listen, it's not even a Band-Aid. Gas is at $5 a gallon. This is 18 cents. I mean, let's just say you drop it 20 cents a gallon, 18 cents a gallon, and you're like $4.80 a gallon. That is still not a good deal for the American people. You know, the Biden administration promised to end fossil fuel production in the U.S. They continue to double down on the policies, and it's creating tremendous pain for the American family. And to go out and to claim victory by saying it's 18 cents, we're going to save you 18 cents for 3 months, that is shallow, it's hollow. And here's the other problem. It will cost the federal government billions of dollars in the Highway Trust Fund. So our roads and bridges that need to be fixed, those are going to get shortchanged, and it's going to create additional budget deficits that are going to exacerbate the tremendous amount of debt we already have. This is a horrible idea at this particular time. At the federal level, what we need to be doing is drilling, using our own natural gas and our oil, and quit flying to Saudi Arabia to ask the folks that mean to do us harm for their oil. This is the craziest, most outlandish policy that I've seen in America. Families know where the problem is, and they know how to fix it, and that is to drill more resources here.
Yeah, that would cost a total of $10 billion, as you were alluding to earlier. The Chevron CEO, one of the major oil and gas companies here in the States, essentially says your administration is vilifying this industry. He says your actions are not beneficial, and that, again, to the Biden administration, a bit of a war of words between the oil and gas companies and this Biden administration. He also will set to ask states to also pause their gas tax as well. But I'll move on to this another story here out of Washington, which you've seen senators reaching a bipartisan compromise on that gun violence bill. There's a lot in it. It's about a little more than 80 pages. We just spoke with Senator Marco Rubio on that. It does have bipartisan support to sort through the Senate. Senator Rubio wanted a little more elaboration, or rather specifics, if you can, on the red flag laws in it. As you would serve there in the House, I believe you're the deputy whip on the GOP side. Where would you stand on this? Because it seems like this would head your way sometime soon. Does it have your support? Have you read through this bill at all? Is there something you'd like to see in it?
So first of all, we have been reading through the bill, and we are going to be solidly opposed to this bill. We have a mental health crisis in America that we can deal with. Look at the bill, bipartisan through the Energy Committee. This will hit the floor, that will fundamentally address the mental health crisis that's here in America. But we should not try to tie erosion of the Second Amendment to this particular issue. We have to deal with school safety. We have to deal with mental health issues, and we are dealing with those. But we cannot continue to erode the Second Amendment. The list of Americans that cannot legally own a firearm right now, or even so much as a single round of ammunition, is pretty long. And the list of people that aren't eligible to buy firearms right now is already pretty big. And now we're going to go after law-abiding Americans and erode their Second Amendment. We cannot go down this road. It doesn't, just because it's a bill that's not as bad as it could have been in the Senate, does not make it an acceptable bill, period. We should be against this bill.
I've got about 30 seconds, and I wanted to make sure you got this time on this. The White House floating to cancel some student debt over the past couple of months here. As far as the money, how much would it be? Who qualifies? I know you're taking action to stop it. You've introduced the Student Loan Accountability Act. Explain this measure to our viewers if you can, and we'll end there. And is there support for it?
Yeah, look, this is pretty simple. If you borrow the money, you've got to pay it back. Forgiving student loan debt is so unfair to millions of Americans that have already incurred the debt and have paid it back. Families that have saved for college. I mean, this is just unfair, and it's a political gimmick during an election year. The bill is very simple. It just says if you borrow the money, you've got to pay it back, and it's a pretty simple concept. Again, look at what happens if you don't. Create a tremendous amount of unfairness. I mean, are you going to give people that have borrowed money to go to Harvard with an endowment that's worth billions of dollars? Are you going to allow them to simply write that debt off? Where you've got a working class family that's been saving for years to put their kids through college, and they have no mechanism for that because they decided to pay for it up front. This is wrong. We cannot do it, and it's going to add trillions of dollars to our deficit. The Democrats seem fully okay with ballooning the deficit at every chance that they get. You know, you can't screw up this bad unless you're trying to. And the moves from the big government socialists here, Capitol Hill, and from this administration seem intentional to slow down the American economy and ruin the American experience. And Americans have had enough.
All right, we'll leave it right there. Georgia Congressman Drew Ferguson joining us live on National Report. Congressman, thank you for your time.
Thank you.